It is unbelievably hot today, and the Yankees are looking to get hot again and avoid the two-game sweep at the hands of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They look to Luis Severino to cool off those Pirates bats. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. Well, Sweet 16 it is. How's it going, everybody? Officially the first game of the second half, and you have to like the way this one started out. The game was initially delayed by rain tonight, so that's why we're on so late. It's 11:38 in the East. If you're tuning in tomorrow, which is now today, I guess, good morning. The game ended up being worth the wait for the offense tonight. That was incredible. It was essentially an all-Yankees batting practice and home run derby session. That's what it was tonight in Pittsburgh. The lineup was pretty interesting. Matt Carpenter was in the starting lineup in right field for the first time since, I think they said 2013. He ripped a double in the top of the first. Rizzo was still out with back stiffness. So it's nice to be able to plug in another good left-handed bat and still allow Stanton to DH if needed. Luis Severino was on the mound tonight. He worked out of a tough jam in the first inning, second and third with nobody out. And I'm thinking, here we go again. Going to get swept by the Pirates. But not only did he get out of the jam without anyone scoring, it began a streak of 12 straight hitters retired.
More of that, please.
Gleyber Torres smoked another double in the second inning, a bullet line drive. He's looked good the last couple of days on offense. Also had a pretty good night in the field at second base, playing pretty much a shallow right field against the Pittsburgh lefties, and he made a number of nice plays to the glove side. Yankees threatened early, but were unable to do anything with men on base. They grounded into double plays to end both the second and third innings. Defensively, though, Josh Donaldson made a really nice play to Rob O'Neill Cruz in the bottom of the second. Cruz is so fast that Donaldson not only had to get rid of the ball quickly, but he had to throw it as hard as he could to get it across the diamond and get Cruz. That was a really tough play. Not an easy play at all. Aaron Judge had an excellent and very Jeterian piece of hitting in the top of the third. He inside outed a single to right field. Now, he's been kind of struggling for the past couple of weeks, and that's putting it gently. With the exception of a couple of home runs, he really hasn't had a ton of hits. But one way to get out of a rut like that, and we've heard Paul O'Neill talk about it, it's something Don Mattingly used to talk about, is to sit back and wait and take a pitch the other way. Just a nice, easy swing, and that's what he did. He hit a nice, soft single to right field, kind of an inside-out swing, and I think that might have gotten things into place and got him feeling good for the rest of the night. Yankees played a little small ball in the top of the fifth. Gallo was on from a walk, and IKF chopped one through the left side. LeMahieu followed that up with a two-run single to put the Yankees on the board. We got some super donos coming in. Reminder to hold these until the recap is over, or I might miss them. So Judge followed up with a double to center field, but DJ was thrown out trying to score. Second hit of the night for Judge. Top six, Josh Donaldson and Joey Gallo went a back-to-back and a belly-to-belly.
It is far. It is gone.
Seventh home run of the year for Donaldson. 10th home run of the year for Joey Gallo. Two absolute nukes in a row. First home run or RBI since June 17th for Joey Gallo. Severino was done after 6 innings, and he was phenomenal tonight. Really good start for him. 4 hits, no runs, No walks, 3 strikeouts. Really nice job. Top 7, Higashioka smoked his 5th home run of the season to make it 5-0 Yankees. It could have been more, but the Yankees did leave the bases loaded that inning. Top 8, Aaron Judge assures that mistake is not repeated.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Grand slam. I love when I get to hit the home run button multiple times during a recap. 30th home run of the year for Judge, 64 RBIs now. First Yankees player ever to have 30 home runs before the All-Star break twice. Only other American League player ever to do it, Ken Griffey Jr. And for those of us who remember watching Griffey in his prime, he was unreal. Giancarlo Stanton also got a opposite field home run off of a position player, but Aaron Hicks, with the big blow off the position player, hit a grand slam. The game was already over at that point, but he went deep in the top of the 9th for a grand slam. His second, no, sorry. That was, I don't have it written down. That was his 3rd or 4th home run of the year. Let's see, 4th home run of the year. IKF picked up 4 hits tonight. Yankees dropped 11 runs over the final 2 innings and squeak out a nail-biter.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Order that, please.
Why break precedent? We got to start with Joey Gallo comments. Ariadna says Gallo is still struggling just because he had a home run today and got his first hit since June 17th. That doesn't mean that she doesn't want to trade him, rather. Oh, tough night for Joey Gallo, even with the home run. Belt goes to Aaron Judge.
Belt winner.
Luis says that Gallo should get the belt. I mean, tonight's one of those nights we really could have gone with the team belt. Let's take a look at this box score. This is going to be a crazy box score. 22 hits. Sheenam Nadwani says IKF showing up 7 hits in his last 2 games. Yeah, he's been great the last couple of days coming around. Great win. Just what we needed, says Canyon. So let's take a look at this box score here. Luis Severino picks up the win. He's 5-3. ERA drops down to 3.11. Yankees out-hit the Pirates 22-4. That is a serious can of whoop-ass. 3-4-6 for DJ LeMahieu. He grounded out off of a position player, and to me it looked like he was trying to make an out. It looked like he was having mercy on the Pirates. He just wanted to put the ball in play. He barely even moved out of the box. He was like, throw me out. Let's get this game over with. Let's get on the road. Aaron Judge, 3 for 4 tonight, 4 RBIs, the big grand slam, 30 home runs. He's not on pace for 62 plus anymore, but he is, approaching that 60 home run pace. Marwin Gonzalez picked up a base hit tonight off the bench. Matt Carpenter went 1 for 4, had that line drive base hit in the first inning. I still think he had some good at-bats. Aaron Hicks didn't even start tonight and went 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 4 ribbies. That's a good night. And then Giancarlo Stanton, 1 for 5 with the opposite field home run off the position player. Gleyber Torres and Josh Donaldson both pick up 2 hits. Joey Gallo, 1 for 4, now hitting a robust 167. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with the 4 hits today raises his average up to 276. I think last year he hit like 271, 272, so it's tracking. And Kyle Higashioka, couple of hits, but still can't get off the interstate. He's at 174. I mean, this middle section of the box score is a lot today. So we're just going to let you guys kind of go through that on your own time. But the Yankees went absolutely berserk. Luis Severino, again, I think he just deserves a little bit of recognition. He didn't get the belt, but he probably could have. 6 shutout innings, really good start for him. Peralta came in, did a nice job. Chapman looked good for the second night in a row. And Albert Abreu came in and slammed the door. Got some super chats. Ben Green making it rain. And then Stone Cold says, Donaldson, Gallo, and Higgy all hit home runs. We have officially entered the Twilight Zone. I love it. Mr. Shark says Royals scored 20 runs in 3 games versus the Astros. Why can't we do that? Hey, look, baseball is a weird sport. You're not always going to, put together the runs and the hits and stuff that you need. You're just going to have bad nights. Sometimes different teams have your number. Landon C says, give Sevy his money. Let's get it for Sevy.
Me and his money.
Yeah, Severino, I believe he's a free agent after this year. He had signed that 4-year, $40 million contract. And Frankie says, more scoring tonight than the Playboy Mansion. Pretty good. Matthew Marangolo says, trade for Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte just signed a long-term extension with the Arizona Diamondbacks, so you can cross him off your list. AK12 says, any update on Rizzo? He was feeling better today, but he was unavailable off the bench. Back stiffness can be tough. We talked about it last night. It can linger. It can last weeks if you don't rest it right away. So I'm glad they gave him another night off. I hope they give him tomorrow off too, because he's going to be super important down the stretch. Yo Elvis says 175 run differential now. That is absolutely insane. Pamela Davis says, this is the night that we needed. As a fan base, it's been a tough couple of days. We got shut out on Sunday, then had the 4th of July off, where we had to let it linger. And then last night we lose to a clearly inferior team and don't do much offensively. So I'm going to go ahead and agree that this was a night that, as a fan base, we've been waiting for several days. Stone Cold says he felt bad for Banuelos. Yeah, Banuelos was with the Yankees just last week. Ended up getting traded to the Pirates after being DFA'd. Came in tonight for mop-up duty. And Aaron Judge welcomed him with a massive grand slam. Texas Buckeye says, Manscaped balls were flying out tonight. Just a reminder, you can get 20% off by visiting manscaped.com and use the code NYY Recaps at checkout. Eric Lavoie says, now is the time to offer Sevy an extension. A team will outbid the Yankees if he stays healthy through the offseason. It's rare that teams outbid the Yankees if they want to bid higher. I can't think of many times that it's happened. There's been times where teams or where players have turned down more money from the Yankees in order to sign somewhere else. Happened with Barry Bonds. Happened supposedly with Greg Maddux. But usually when they want somebody, they get them. And the Yankees can go a long way towards re-signing anybody they want by winning the World Series this year, because everybody wants to repeat. It's one thing to win the World Series, but it's another challenge to repeat. It's rare. Frankie Baseball says, is Patrick Hennessy still alive? As far as I know, Pat, if you're out there, hit the comments. He just hasn't been streaming as much lately. I know he's got another job, and he has been very, very busy with that. So I enjoy Pat's streams, but I haven't had a chance to see him very much this season. I've been busy myself, trying to take this this show to the next level. I put in a lot of work, and then at the end of the night, last year I used to go watch Pat's streams or sit through them, but this year it's just so much work that I end up just essentially passing out as soon as it's over. Jason says, this is the type of game I would put Chapman in and be nervous. That's tough. You guys got to be easier on my man Chapman. Douglas Rao, there's a discussion about arms in the chat, and he says Bernie had no arm out in center either, and it worked out all right. Yeah, Bernie did not have a great arm. Johnny Damon did not have a great arm out there. I'm trying to think of other Yankees center fielders over the last couple of decades. I mean, Granderson, he was accurate, but it was not a strong arm, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that. I don't have the StatCast metrics to back that up, but I just remember from watching it. Hicks has pretty much had the best Yankees arm other than Judge for the last decade or so, but it hasn't really been the same since that Tommy John surgery. He's made a couple of better throws recently. Stanton's got a really good arm, but I think Judge still the best arm in the outfield. AK12 says, do you think the Pirates will want to trade with us after this game? I don't think the Pirates are going to want to trade with us after the Park for Holmes deal last year. I would be careful about, picking up the phone if Brian Cashman called. Michael Miles says the Yankees have a team option on Sevy next season. I was not aware of that. Appreciate that. Gonna give you there you go. You get the taco. THG says, what was the highest run differential for any Yankees team? I'm pretty sure it was the 1939 Yankees. Let's look it up. 1939 Yankees. Baseball reference. Hey, this will be something to look through fun as a group tonight. Look through a great team. So that team went 106-45-1. They scored 967 runs and allowed 556 runs. So just my math, that's what, 411 runs? Could that be right? Wow, that's insane. That team's WAR leader was Joe DiMaggio, 8.3 WAR. Red Rolf, 6.7. Joe Gordon, really good year. They got a lot of really good players. Bill Dickey, one of the 2 8s that are retired for the Yankees. Bill Dickey had 24 home runs that season. Joe Gordon, 28 dingers. What did Joe DiMaggio do? Joe DiMaggio hit 381 that year with a 1.119 OPS, 184 OPS plus. This is before the metrics were huge. Let's take a look at the pitching. Red Ruffing, Hall of Famer, I believe. 2.93 ERA that year, 21-7. Lefty Gomez, 12-8. Just a really, really solid team. You notice they have kind of a thin bullpen because the starting pitchers all pitched a lot. They really had 6 starting pitchers that made at least 15 starts. And, Ruffing through 233 innings. Really, I thought we'd have more guys with 200-plus innings at this point. 1939. I think that was before America got into the war, so I really don't think that anybody missed time because of the war. The Yankees swept the World Series that year against the Reds. Village says they may have been the greatest team ever. They were. I did a top 5 video when I was just starting this channel where I did top 5 Yankees teams, and I somehow just had like a brain fart and I left them out of my video. So I've got to make an updated one. I was going to wait and see how this team finishes up this season before I do it. Then maybe I'll do like top 10 Yankees teams. I've been doing more top 10s than top 5s recently. One Tally Rand says, bring up Florial. Yeah, Florial's been doing really well. We did a video on him this afternoon. He continues to swing the bat really, really well in July. 3 home runs already this month. Also, Oswald Peraza was on MILB TV today, hitting against Chris Sale. And I watched one at bat and he walked. But I checked the box score later on and he was 0 for 2. But Chris Sale, obviously a legit major league pitcher. So it was interesting to see one of our top prospects get an opportunity off of him. Stone Cold says Ibanez didn't have that great an arm. He was mostly a DH, wasn't he? I feel like he didn't play a lot of the outfield. Julian Lennon says he wouldn't even put Chapman in with a 16-run lead. That's ice cold, my man. That's ice cold. Leroy says Whitey Ford hated pitching on more than 4 days rest back in the day. I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been the Ken Burns baseball documentary, or I might have read it. But I read or saw somewhere that pitchers used to pitch at about like 60 to 70% until they got men on base, and then they would throw their good stuff. So it was essentially batting practice. This is before guys hit a ton of home runs. But pitchers would essentially just take it easy on their arm until key situations. And that's one reason where they were able to go 300 plus innings and such. Andy Yang says Dylan Lawson should get the belt. He's gotten the belt a few times this year in performances like this. Hey, did you guys catch that interview with Hal Steinbrenner? It was a Zoom call before the game. It was, there was a rain delay, so they put up this conference call that Hal Steinbrenner had. And one of the people that he called out by name was Dylan Lawson. Just talking about the year-over-year improvements. People who follow this team closely will remember last year, It was after a series in Philadelphia. I believe it was Aaron Nola shut down the Yankees, just completely shut them down. And the very next day, Hal Steinbrenner had a press conference, and he said, well, these guys got to do better. These guys have got to play. It's the guys in the room, and yada, yada, yada. And we all gave him crap because, it seemed like he was full of hot air at the time. But this year it was a completely different vibe. Everybody was in awe of what the Yankees are doing. And he was very complimentary of not only his players, but of his coaching staff. Tremendous watch if you have the time to watch that press conference. Peter D. Rosso says, this team needs an extra arm and bring up Florial or Andujar. Well, you can never have enough pitching. Could definitely use the extra arm. Landon says, 35 bombs before the break for Judge. How many games are there left before the break? About 5 or 6? I think it's next Tuesday is the All-Star game. Sunday is the final day. He'd have to hit 5 over the next 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I don't think it's going to happen. In fact, I think he's going to get one of those days off, too, probably before the All-Star break, because he's going to, be playing in the All-Star game, so he's not going to get the proper break. He's going to be traveling. Wouldn't surprise me if he got Sunday off. But 35 before the break would be amazing. I remember one year, I think it was Bonds had 37. I think the year that McGuire hit 70, he had about 35 or 36 before the break. So, it's happened before, and it's amazing every time it does. All right, guys, one more time from John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Great night to be a Yankee fan.
More of that, please.
Frankie says the final game before the break is July 17th, so there's 11 days. Okay, so I thought it was next week. Okay, well, then in that case, yeah, he can probably do it. So that'll be interesting. 7 games against Boston before the All-Star break. So he generally hits pretty well against Boston. So that'll be fun to watch. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. I'll see you next time.